Today we walk from Casar de Caceres, just back there. Started off about 7:20 and we're doing 22 k's to the Embalse. This is a tricky route on the VdlP because at the Embalse, which is a reservoir, let me just change the zoom on this so it doesn't bounce as much. At the Embalse used to be an albergue, which is now closed. So it would break up the day nicely between Casar de Caceres and Camino Blog. But now, without that albergue, it's something like a 33k day. And the afternoons are getting up to 27, 28 degrees. So it's a bit of a stretch. So there's always lots of options debated. And we're going for the option whereby we walk to the Embalse. We're going to get a taxi to pick us up and take us the final 10 or 11 k's. We'll see how that works out. I'm slowly shedding stuff. Sorry for the bouncy video. I'll turn it to face the other way in a second. But it's very cold in the morning. It's like 9 degrees when we're setting off. So I've got my sort of down vest on. I have my hat on. But I don't like stopping all the time to keep adjusting the clothing, so I shed bit by bit. So I'm starting to get warm, so I take my hat off, I'll let some heat escape. Next bit I'll unzip the jacket, and then probably within an hour I'll stop and take the jacket off. But let me just turn this around. There we go, that's a bit better view. So I'll just expand a bit on the taxi plan. So we had breakfast with a couple of other people this morning. And they're getting a taxi to the Embalse and then walking from there, which I think is a good idea if you're worried about your level of Spanish or miscommunicating with the taxi driver, if you're going to break up this section, of course. You wouldn't want to be ringing from the Embalse and then not being able to communicate exactly where you are. We're in a very fortunate position, or unfortunately in a fortunate position, where the third member of our current walking party has a very bad knee and is going to skip today, and she's a very good Spanish speaker, so she's going to hang into the accommodation from last night until midday. So we've got a private room to give her some rest, and so she'll leave midday, and we don't really want her hanging around in the hot sun waiting for us. So if we can get to the Embalse by 12:30, 1 o'clock, that should work in nicely. So that means we kind of need to set a good pace. Junction. No. I think it's straight on. I'm going to stop the camera. Ted will yell if I'm going the wrong way. Is he behind me? Yeah, he's just shedding his jacket. I think it's pretty much straight on all the way. Is that an arrow on the right? Let's have a look. I think so. Normally it's something like that. I just pull up one of the apps and make sure I'm on track, but it's a little bit difficult to do that while I'm doing a video. Okay, so that's the plan. We're going to crack on. So there won't be a lot of videos today because we kind of need to be head down and getting some distance behind us. Otherwise we're going to leave our poor third member of the group sitting in the sun waiting to sort of start the taxi journey to pick us up. But if I get a chance I'll do some more. Okay, a random topic. Trying to keep up with people. Just thought it was interesting that the guy I'm walking with today is a lot taller than me, fitter than me, stronger than me, and has a longer stride. And when we were walking together yesterday, that was great because his wife was a bit slower than him and I'm more her speed, and we would sort of fall back a bit, but it would almost be like this invisible tow rope. He might be 200, 300, 400 metres ahead, and sort of, it's that motivational pull. You're kind of keeping up with him a bit, which yesterday it was great because it was a long, hot day, and to to have someone out there sort of setting the pace and keeping us moving was really good. I would have stopped and it would have taken me another hour probably if I'd been on my own. So just the two of us walking today, and we set a cracking pace of about 5.5 k's to begin with, which is way quicker than I would normally walk. But I'm happy to stretch that today because I want to get a few k's done before the sun really gets hot. But the cautionary tale: be very careful trying to keep up with someone who is much quicker than you, because it's the quickest way to injure yourself and end a Camino. So I'm being very careful about it, and I know that he's probably not going at his full speed anyway yet. He probably will pop up a gear and then he'll sort of move ahead and I won't bother trying to keep up. But you know, so there's a bit of a double-edged sword. Walking with someone who's a little bit quicker can actually be quite motivating on a tough day. It can just keep you going at a reasonable pace, whereas maybe you're really sort of feeling lethargic and want to slow down, keep having breaks. You know, the example I'm talking about yesterday, it was like the last 3 or 4 k's. You know, we would have dragged our heels a bit had it not been for him. So, you know, that's one factor. The other factor is don't injure yourself trying to keep up with somebody. I'm quite happy to do it for the first couple of hours. But once he goes into top gear, I'll let him go ahead. Oh, some traffic coming through. See all that dust kicked up by that van, because it's very dry. We've had that on all these farm tracks to date, and I think that's what's giving me this bloody throat infection. So I still can't get rid of it. It's slowly getting better. Oh, the sun's up. How about that, eh? I'll keep going because I want to keep ahead of Ted. Because if I've got a bit of distance ahead of him, then I can stop, strip off my jacket and be moving again while he catches up. It's very disheartening if he zooms past and suddenly he's 2 or 3 meters ahead, 200 or 300 meters ahead. I'm enjoying this walk. It's a great track. This is the best walking surface. Soft on the feet, you can keep a good rhythm going. And it'd be really nice to get 10 k's done before it starts to get hot. Because the second 12, if it's hot, will not be as easy. So we're really not sort of stopping much during these first few hours. Just want to get going while it's cool. Oh, there's a moon. You see that? A little bit small. Let me zoom a bit. There's the moon. And there's Ted, catching me up. He's got his jacket off. He's probably getting into top gear now. This is a glorious walk out of Casar de Caceres. As it's coming up to 9 o'clock. It's already starting to warm up. I mean, not significantly. It's probably gone from 9 to 12 or something. But I have to take the jacket off. I wonder if we'll be able to see the reservoir, the Embalse, maybe from over the next hill. It's interesting, today is 22 k's, and on my normal rule of thumb, a litre of water will get me 10 k's. You know, I would take 2 litres. I'm taking 2.5 today, just a little bit over. Based on yesterday's experience, when I had a litre to finish the last 11 k's and basically ran out within about 6 k's, just because it was so hot. So that's one of the reasons I'm trying to maintain a really good pace in these first few hours, because it's easier to chew up the k's while it's nice and cool. Once it starts to warm up, get a bit sluggish. I'm enjoying this. I'm kind of interested to see how quick we can walk to the Embalse. I'm not normally bothered to just stroll along, but I suppose there's a bit of a goal today. We don't want our number 3 member to be waiting around for us too long, so the sooner we can get there, around 12:30 or after, that'll work well. Obviously I'm not going to be silly. If it starts hurting or something, we'll slow down. Just gives another bit of interest to today's walk. And my challenge to keep ahead of number 2 in our party. He's had 2 pit stops. I've only had 1, but he's catching up. I just perfected the fast pit stop, like like Formula 1 changing the tyres. I thought, how can I minimise my stop time to get my warm jacket off? It's the silly things you think of while you're walking. So I thought, well, I'll be putting my hat back on, so I'll put that back on now. And then I had the jacket unzipped and the waist belt undone and the sternum strap undone, and swing the pack off, jacket into the pack back on. Oh, I reckon it could have been a 10 seconds pit stop. Quite funny. I'm enjoying this. I really got a good pace going. I just want to keep it up. But I imagine, what have we been going? An hour and a quarter? Probably another 45 minutes. I'll actually have a stop, get the pack off, get the weight off my feet, maybe have a bit of chocolate or some nuts or something. I can't be silly about these things. But so far, it's a good day. Oh no, he's almost caught me. He's a lot stronger and quicker than I am. Oh, that was a cracking pace for an hour and a half. I think we've done 8 Ks. Nice to get that sort of distance done while it's cool. I thought, no, it'd be sensible. Sit for a few minutes. Now, one of the things I reckon that's very different about the VdlP is there's nowhere to sit. And for an old bugger like me, getting up and down off the ground all the time is a lot of effort. Like on the Camino Francis, you'll see a village and you go, we'll stop for a coffee. Most days there are no villages. But what you do are these things. These are great for sitting on. So, I'll let my walking buddy go on ahead, peering up around that corner now. I'm going to have a little bite of chocolate, take the weight off for a few minutes, have a bit of water, and then continue, because you've got to have a few breaks now and again. This is glorious. And here comes the sun. Another hour, it'll start to get warm, I think. So we've got another 5 Ks done before it gets too warm. Oh, a couple more people coming. Just a little footnote on hydration. I just had a pee and I'm mildly hydrated. I didn't feel it, so I'm going to make sure I drink some more. We were talking about it at breakfast today, and I don't think between the 3 of us yesterday, I don't think any of us peed on that walk yesterday. So we were all dehydrated. So just a tip, keep an eye on how frequently you're going on the colour. So there is the Embalse. I think we've done 12 Ks. 10 to go, and there's a couple of bridges over rivers that feed into the reservoir. I'm not sure whether that's bridge number 1 or 2. That's where we're headed down there.